Hey, this is Coach Marty,
And this is Lori.
and it's time for That Sports Couple.
What?
Brought to you by
Diamond Distributing.
Colonial Exterminating Company,
Edward Jones, C. Robert Email.
Wendy Benedetto, Ladder and Blue,
Sports Pub, Dusterhead.
Adam Roussel, Riverbend, Chiropractic, River Parishes Trophies,
The Seafood Pod. Welcome back to That Sports Couple, the occasional podcast whenever Lori and Marty find enough time to get into a room together. I'm Lori Lyons, the sort of retired sports writer. He's Marty Luquette, the sort of retired coach. And we're here again for another episode of That Sports Couple, where we talk about sports in the River Parishes. Happy St. Patrick's Day. You're wearing green.
St. Patrick's Day special.
He is very Irish, y'all. Very.
This is the Rafferty side of me.
He's a Rafferty, a Daly, a Culligan, you name it. I have his family tree traced way back, and he's very Irish. Doesn't he look like a little leprechaun? I mean, come on.
Well, I even delivered people today in my Uber down to the Irish Channel.
Did you really? Did you go to Parasols?
I drove up and they had it all blocked off.
Did you drop people?
Yeah, I dropped them off on the corner of Magazine 3rd.
One of our first outings together when we started dating, he said, "We're going to Parasols. My whole family's going to be there." And he was not kidding. The whole gang.
That's the neighborhood my mama grew up in. She's a Redemptress girl,
It was
and
fun.
they had a big crowd today again. It was
They-
a gorgeous day for it.
Yeah, they drank green beer. And when I was at Loyola, I was in a sorority. Yes, I was. Called Tri-Phi, which was Phi. Tri-Phi. Can't get a date? Tri-Phi. Anyway, we were very Irish as well. The clover was our symbol, and green was our color. And we learned all kinds of Irish songs. Some of them that can't be repeated here. Many of them can't be repeated. But we had fun.
I have lots of things I could say about Tri-Phi, but I won't say them.
There's a reason it took me so long to graduate from Loyola.
You're having too much fun.
I did. I had a great time. It was all worth it.
That's right. See, you and I, we didn't have that campus life. We met at Pat O'Brien's. So we did have our Irish.
Yeah, we went there a couple of times.
If you want to go, when it was time to go out, about 11 o'clock, the baseball team would meet at Pat O'Brien's. See why we had such a great GPA.
We only went to Pat O'Brien's for very special occasions. But we had Shanahan.
Us too.
We had
nurses convention.
We had Shanahan's uptown, which was Irish, Shanahan's. And so that's where we went. And then TJ Quill's on Maple Street, which was I don't know if it was Irish or not, but we pretended. And Bruno's, which was a 2-lane bar, but we kind of went.
What's the one on St. Charles?
Fat Harry's.
Fat Harry's.
That was where you went the last stop to eat at like 2 a.m.
Okay.
Fat Harry's.
Still there?
Still there?
Yep.
Yeah. And there was another one, AT2's, which was on Magazine Street. I don't know if that's still there.
I don't think so.
AT2's.
Oh, well. So much for reminiscing.
Now you know all the bars I went to. Oh, well, there you go. But here we are to talk about River Parishes sports. We're in the thick of it right now, honey. Baseball season, softball season, bowling is going on. Track, it is. Track and field is just getting underway.
Run
golf.
fast. Run straight. Make a left.
No, that's cross country.
Make a left.
Golf is getting underway. Tennis is about to start.
Can I ask you one question about track? They run on an oval.
Yeah.
And then they give them lanes to stay in. Why are they going to get lost?
No, but you have to.
It's an oval. You can't get lost.
You can't invade another person's space like some little girl did in another state with her baton. And I had a big argument on the internet about
we're not going into
the weight.
Let's talk baseball.
The weight of a track baton.
Let's talk baseball.
Okay, go ahead.
River Parish baseball. Well, you got to say right now.
We have some.
You got to say right now. They're playing well.
Who?
Almost 8 of our schools have winning records.
Wow.
6.
That's very impressive.
6 of our 8.
That's less impressive, but
Well,
we only have 8 schools in the River Parishes.
right, and 6 of the 8 have winning records.
There you go. That's impressive.
With one of them being St. James, 12-4.
Go St. James!
And beat Legend.
Once coached by the legend Marty.
And nothing to do with this 12-4 team because my team won 12-4. But we have Destrehan at 13-6, Hahnville at 12-8, Letcher at 13-7, Riverside 12-6,
They're doing well.
St. Charles Catholic 10-9, and St. James 12-4. East St. John
Struggling
1
still
and 4.
on the struggle bus.
2 and 4,
And West St. John?
and West St. John's 1 and 3. So, hey, it is what it is. And right now, it's got to. We always talk about you break the seasons into at 15 games, you start to find your team. Well, I think we're there. We're past the 15 games now. Everybody's settling in. The tournament season's over, and now they're getting ready to play, get into their district stuff.
Yeah.
If you don't have a district, you're playing tougher teams, spreading them out to 3 games a week, so your pitching can get ready for the
And you passed all the tournament stuff.
yeah,
correct?
for the playoff runs and all. And the tournaments are all over. So, hey, you got to admit those are pretty good records, considering the how spread out your pitching gets during the tournament stuff. But you also get to see guys that you would normally see. And the guys that were pitching some Saturday stuff and mop-up stuff are now going back and pitching JV games. So they're getting their work. It's just at a different level.
But aren't injuries kind of starting to creep in a little bit in some places?
Well, you start to see guys that get, you have some arm situations. And, of course, that's why you play those early season tournaments, so you have plenty of guys for that. Injuries come into play, but not as much in baseball as it is in football. You don't lose as many guys as you do in football season. So, but the success of these teams is we've talked about it. We talked to the coaches.
Yeah, you talked to a whole bunch of them last week.
I talked to them, and I'm going to talk to them this week too. And we're going to do another series of reports like we did last time. Hopefully, I'll be able to get some of the other guys. Coach Gia from St. James was not able to talk to me last week because he was stuck in an airport. He was traveling and last time, and he was stuck in an airport, so he couldn't get in touch. He couldn't get back to me, but we'll try to get him this time because I just want to hear what's going on and all the good things happening at St. James. And of course, we talked to Coach Meir and Coach Stein, and Coach Falgu. Who else we had? Coach Vial.
Coach Vial.
Yeah, that was the 4 we had.
Yes.
Yeah, 4 of the 8. So hopefully we'll be able to get out all 8 this time and then see what's going on at all the schools. And
it's so strange to see, like, East St. John's been struggling for so long, and at one time they were the team. They were undefeated one year, 1990. They were right before I got out here. Maybe I'm the jinx. I don't know. They finished undefeated, won the state championship, and then from there they've just had a succession of coaches that have come and gone, and they just can't seem to keep the momentum going. They used to have a big wall with all their major league players.
It was impressive.
So Barb talks about their intimidator with all their championships. East St. John had one that was all that, with all the names of all the people who had gone on to play baseball.
Well, Johnny Owens was the coach and did a fabulous job with them. Johnny and I missed being teammates by a year at UNO. He was going out as a senior. I was coming in as a junior. So we missed being teammates, but we got to be, we still hung out with the same people and all the guys, and they used to go out with us. So I got to know Johnny well back then, and he certainly did a fabulous job.
It was.
And it was tough. Those kids were
so talented. Like you name a name and you'd say, well, okay, who they got better than that? And you name another one. And a lot of them are, grown men now with kids.
Well, I'm going to give credit to someone was never on the staff. and that was C.J. Watkins.
Oh yeah, C.J. Watkins.
Juan
Absolutely.
Watkins' father. He started that
Playground
Dixie,
ball. Yeah.
that playground. Those kids all played for him. He was a hitting guy. He was fabulous, and he put those guys, the love of baseball in those guys young. They don't have a C.J. Watkins.
Exactly. They need
And
another C.J.
They don't have a C.J.
Come on, somebody step up.
And it shows. The board you talked about was really impressive because they put it right above your dugout, the opposing team's dugout. You had to walk past it and underneath it, and it had all the names of all the guys that played professional baseball in the organization they were in and the year they went out. And they had 30 guys.
Yeah, I have a list somewhere. I have a book.
They had. Well, I don't know if they had 30, but it sure seemed like they had 30.
Had a bunch.
But they had a whole bunch. And at the time that I was coaching at Destrehan had one. You know?
Yeah.
Destrehan had one guy had played pro ball, and they had 30, and we were 8 miles from
Exactly.
apart, you know?
Yeah.
Try to figure that out, you know? What reason that is. No, get me wrong, Destrehan was turning out some football guys.
Right.
You know, a lot of NFL football guys.
But look around the rest. Okay, baseball. Letcherhead, Poche. They're gonna have a couple maybe coming up.
Well, they had Lenny Webster.
Yeah.
You know, they had their guys.
I'm just trying to think about all of them. You know, how many? The River Parishes has produced some professional athletes. Let's just leave it at that.
Yes, they have.
Very well done. Okay, cool. What else you want to say about softball? You impressed?
Baseball.
Yes. Is that what I said? Baseball.
Yeah. You said softball.
Oh, baseball.
No, I am. I think that they're all playing well. They're playing good schedules, you know, and when you play good schedules and you win big games, it creates a lot of excitement in the school and in the community. And I think they're prepping themselves for that run, that late season run. Let's see how high they can get in the power ratings. You know, Letcher's sitting at 3. You know, St. Charles is at 5. St. James is in the top 5. Riverside's in the top 10. I think they're sitting at 7. Destrehan's at 10.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so they're all going to be setting themselves up. The key number to get to, the numbers that are important are, you want to be at number 8, and you want to be in the top 4. And because of the way the playoff brackets are, you get to host your games, your playoff games. And if you can fall in the 8, you get at least one round.
Right.
If you fall in 4, you get 2 rounds. And then the third round's at the state, and there's no rounds anymore.
How are they doing the tournament this year? Is it best? Is it?
No,
It's one game or single elimination?
Semifinals, finals, the next.
Yeah. Okay.
And single elimination once they get there. Now this year they started the season early so that 5A, 4A, 3A could all play best 2 out of 3s in the playoffs from round 1. That's the change. Round 1 used to be a single game. They'd get down to 16 teams and then play double 2 out of 3s from 16 to 8 until they got to 4, and then they would go to the state tournament. They're not doing that. They're playing them double eliminations from the beginning. Everybody in our group is doing that, with the exception of Riverside and West St. John, because the 1As are still playing a whole bracket of single elimination.
They voted.
No, they didn't. We had it. They had it before 5As got it. And then when they got them to help them push through the 5As, and then when 5A got it, they told them, "Oh, we don't have enough officials anymore. You all have to go back to 1." And that was like, you got to be kidding me. We helped you, and then you turn around and burn us. But,
Well, there you go.
There's the state for you.
I know. All right, let's talk college. We actually got to see LSU play on TV the other day. I don't know one single player's name. Didn't know one of them. But it was fun to watch.
If you didn't, she didn't follow prep sports because the Gatorade Player of the Year was William Schmidt from Catholic High, who pitched.
I don't have to do any of that anymore.
I know, but he You know, you should have known that name.
I should have known that name.
You know,
But I mean, like, I'm watching the game and I didn't know, like, oh, I remember him. Or I guess I should have remembered him. But I mean, but like, normally, like, I knew Dylan Cruz. I knew Paul Skeens. I knew.
well, they messed up their TV stuff.
You can't watch it.
Well, you can now that they're in the SEC because the SEC has a contract with ESPN.
Right.
So you can see them now, and you can watch the rest of those.
But I can name probably more Tulane players than I can LSU because we watch Tulane.
We do.
Heck, I could name some ULL players because we watch them. Because they're free on ESPN. Well, we pay for ESPN.
We watch whoever's on. We can find on TV.
That's true.
Local,
Oh, let's play that. UNL, ULL, McNeese, sometimes Ruston. Yeah, like that. Northwestern.
We watched them quite a few, and we have players on some of those teams.
Correct.
Ex-players. So
but you root for the locals. You root for the local teams.
That's right.
Right. Okay. And then it's almost opening day. When's opening day? April what?
No, actually, it's this week.
Is it?
In Japan.
Oh, that doesn't count.
It does count.
Not for me.
Goes on their record. The Dodgers and the Cubs.
I knew that. Yeah. I'm ready, though. I'm ready.
They'll be squaring up later in the week.
We will watch a lot of baseball in this house.
And they'll play a 3-game set.
I guess I won't be watching Law and Order.
She doesn't listen to when I talk. She wants to tell me something else. They'll be playing a 3-game set later in the week. The Dodgers and the Cubs, and it will count. So it's important.
Dodgers and the Cubs, the two teams that people are predicting have the best probability of winning a World Series this year.
Who's predicting the Cubs?
I saw it somewhere.
The Cubs?
Yes, I saw it somewhere. The Cubs are going to win, and you say in the Dodgers.
That ain't happening.
I don't know. I'll let you know.
Yeah, let me know because it ain't happening.
I just know that Law and Order is about to get bumped off my TV by baseball soon.
Yes, it will. And that's okay because you've seen them all.
Yes.
You watch them one after another all day long.
It's true.
And that's why
I also do like baseball because I can read a book while I'm watching baseball because when you hear you look up and you see where the ball goes, right? It's easy. You don't have to watch every single move.
Well, you don't watch anything without your phone in your hand. So
this is true.
That includes your dinner.
Don't even go there. I can't see the TV from my spot at the table.
Driving around.
Well, that's because you drive like a lunatic. And every time I look up, we're about to die.
Hey, I heard my Uber work here.
No, you only do it with me, not with them. But every time I seem to look up, it's like, ah!
It's because she only looks up when she hears that. Or the brakes.
You didn't have the guy pass you on the shoulder the other day.
No, that was exciting. We got passed on both sides at the same
On the way to
time.
Houma, yeah.
How slow were you driving?
I was going to speed. I wasn't going fast enough for him. There you go. But I can finally see well enough to drive some days too. So there you go.
Yeah, some days.
Yeah. We're like an old married couple, aren't we?
Yes, we are. We're not going to talk about players right now because we let the coaches do that when I call them.
Yeah.
And we'll let them tell us about their team and how exciting things are around school and how things have progressed since the last time we talked. And they have. Their records have gotten better for some and have stayed good for the others. So
there you go.
I'm real happy with what's happening, and I think we're going to have a fun end of the season. Now, before we move over to softball, let Lori talk about the softball teams, I want to draw attention to 2 teams across the state that are just unbelievable starts. One out of Houma, which is one of my friends, one of my ex-players, Joe Tutone and the Covenant Christian Academy, off to a 19-0 start.
Are they really? I didn't even realize that.
They are 19-0. And they played some 5A schools. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not telling you they played, they're going to play St. Charles. They got St. Charles on the schedule 3 times coming up.
They beat terrible.
And they've beat everybody that they've got on this that they've played, including Destrehan in there, and a lot of 5A schools, and they are just rolling right now. But they got some real good. He's not afraid to play the big boys.
No.
I mean, he kind of padded his schedule early. He was unsure about his team, but he allowed them to grow up a little bit. And now he's pretty confident right now that they're going to be real good. They're sitting at the number 1 seed, obviously at 19-0.
Yeah.
The other team that is look, Two Tones group is always in the mix. Holy Cross 17-0.
Well, dang.
17-0.
17-0.
And they just swept John Curtis in the first district
I
series.
saw that.
So they, 17, everybody kept saying, oh, they're not playing anybody. Wait till they get to these guys. Wait till they get to, well, guess they got there and they swept them too.
And they had I know they had a no-hitter not too long ago.
They've been playing really well. And that's Chip Panura and as the head coach, and his dad, Kenny Panura from UNO fame, the World Series team, that is been working with him and helping him with that team. And hey, Holy Cross, my goodness, they got to be besides themselves.
Yeah, cool.
Because they're like the smallest Catholic school in the league. I mean, they probably they qualify as a 3A school, and they're playing up in 5A. So and they're 17-0. So
cool.
You got those are great stories right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see if it holds up. I mean, I'm not.
I know some Holy Cross grads will be very happy about that.
Believe me, nobody expects anyone to go undefeated.
It's only been done once.
Yeah, it's hard to do, but my team was 0-4 when we were number 2 in the country, and we lost the 3rd game of the year. Now we are 33-1 when we got to the state tournament, but we did lose the 3rd game. We didn't go through the whole season undefeated like these teams are doing. And that's pretty impressive.
That was very impressive.
Yeah.
Very. We got hard work. Prove it.
Well, when we come back from this commercial break, we'll talk a little softball in the River Parishes.
Go visit our sponsors, please.
Brought to you by Diamond Distributing. They're the guys who deliver the Hubig's pies.
Lemon!
No apple. If you don't see your favorite pie and freeze-dried goodies at your store, have them call Diamond Distributing.
Brought to you by Colonial Exterminating Company, a local family-owned company that will help you get rid of your termites, pests, and rodents. They're a Christ-based company looking forward to serving you.
Brought to you by Robert Hemel at Edward Jones Investing on Belterre Boulevard in Laplace. Trust Robert with all your investment needs.
Brought to you by Wendy Benedetto at Ladder and Bloom. If you are buying or selling your home, call the best in the business. Let Wendy Benedetto get you home.
Brought to you by the Sports Pub in Destrehan. For fabulous food and big screen TVs, come to the Sports Pub for all the action. It's a must after your big game.
Brought to you by Riverbend Chiropractic. Come see Dr. Adam Roussel for pain relief. His decompression table will change your life. Call Riverbend Chiropractic in Destrehan.
Brought to you by Tri-Parish Trophies in Reserve. When it's time to acknowledge someone's accomplishments, let Tri-Parish Trophies help. They're also your sign and printing professionals. Let them help you. They're a family-owned company. Brought to you by the Seafood Pot in New Sarpy, the best seafood in the River Parishes. Crabs, shrimp, seafood platters, po' boys, and those daiquiris. Doesn't get any better than the Seafood Pot.
Welcome back to That Sports Couple, the podcast between the podcast with Lori and Marty, the sports writer and the coach, where we talk about sports and stuff and bad driving.
More stuff than sports.
Sometimes, but that's what makes us unique. So Marty handled baseball. I did not get a chance to talk to all the softball coaches. I would love to. I'm see if I can get them on the record this week and see if I can get a little.
When I got the chance to talk to the coaches, that went really well.
Yeah, I know you were very good.
We had
You've been hanging around me a lot.
We had 100. Some of them had over 100 views each. So that was exciting. That was good stuff.
Part of my issue was I had to go and see who some of the coaches were. I'm retired. I don't really follow as much as I used to. I used to have books and charts and lists and phone numbers and phone chains and email chains. I don't have all that anymore. So I have to make sure I still know who all the coaches are at all the schools. I know some of them. Anyway, but softball. Look, this is the hotbed of softball in the state. Always has been for a very long time. St. Charles has one state. Letcher has one state. Riverside has one state. Hahnville has one state. Hahnville has one state.
Can he be out?
Yes, he did. I was there.
Mhm.
I mean, we are very strong in softball, and this season I think is no exception. And it's the usual suspects. Starting in 5A, Hahnville is the number 5 seed. They're 14-5 right now, doing very well. Destrehan is the number 14 seed. They are. This is the power rankings. They're 12-4, but Destrehan beat Hahnville last week 10-0, which was a little bit of a surprise. Didn't see that one coming.
No. Been a while.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's pretty convincing.
Yeah, and Hahnville has had Destrehan's number for quite some time, but have to see what changed there.
We'll have to talk to Coach Perrier.
Coach Perrier, who played for Coach Leggett. There you go. I know him.
He coached with me.
When he played for you. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. That was before your time. Sorry. My bad. Memory is going bad. Here's a surprise for you, though. East St. John, which is, we just talked about how they've had some trouble finding their footing over recent years. They're 10-3, and right now they're number 20, holding on at 22 in the power rankings. And go ahead, East St. John.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't matter who you play.
They used to be the gimme on everybody's
Oh yeah, it used to be everybody wanted to play them.
Yeah.
Well, not anymore.
Well, let's see what's happening over there. I do not know today who the coach is, but I'll find out. Let's see. Letcher in 4A is number 7 in the power rankings. They're 9-6. Of course, you know, they're always right there at the end, and they always will be.
Well, a 9-6 record and a 7 power rating.
Mm-hmm.
You're playing pretty good.
Oh, God, yes. Oh, yeah. They don't shy away from anybody. No, they don't play a whole lot of gimmies. St. Charles Catholic, who is coached by Weber. Well, I can't think of his first name, Weber. They are 9-3, number 3 in their power rankings, and they're always right up there. Vanderbilt is number 1 in their division, which should come as no surprise to anyone. Vanderbilt is always very strong as well. Riverside is number 13 in their division. They're 8-3 right now. They have a new coach this year. Tamara Regalos stepped down. Thomas Email came back, and not that he ever really went anywhere, but he came back and took over the team.
Well, he did. He went to BRCC and was assistant coach.
I know, but he always was like hovering. Yeah. So, but they have a good, really good group of girls, and they're doing their thing. Bringing out up the bottom is West St. John and St. James. West St. John is right now, they're number 24 out of 26. They will make it. And St. James is number 26, right on the bubble. But it ain't over yet. We got plenty of games left.
And they're what, 3-8
as of right now. But I mean, the usual suspects are strong, and will probably continue to be strong. And we'll see where we go from there.
Well, you know, there's quite an investment been made in the River Parishes, in both baseball and softball, in facilities.
Oh, God.
You know, Honda and Destrehan getting new facilities this year. St. Charles having, you know, top-notch facilities in baseball and softball. Their fields are gorgeous. And
Riverside making some improvements over there.
You know, and Letcher, when Letcher turfed their field, it was like you wanted to cry because their dirt field, their grass field was so immaculate. It's like, why are they no, don't put me. But you know, the turf field is the way to go. It's so much easier. You know, I watch you watch the rain go by. I was out at Destrehan the other day. They threw a tarp on the mound and the plate on a turf field, and I said, "Why are you doing that?" And they said, "Just to keep it from getting slick." You know, I mean, but when before you had to do it to save the game. You know, And now they do it just to keep it so it's dry when the pitcher,
St. Charles's field is just
Oh.
all of them. I
All
mean,
of them.
they. I remember when Letcher did it, and it was like, this looks like a college. Gorgeous.
The fields at Riverside are in good shape.
Yeah.
They put a lot of effort into those. Sean St. Pierre does a great job of keeping those up, helping keep those up, and of course the coaches and the players get involved. But those are dirt fields, and those are much harder to maintain.
Yeah.
And of course St. James has the turf, has a turf field just like Letcher does.
Yeah.
So you've got a lot of really nice facilities, and this is an investment. These are what fills, why their teams are good, is because it's important to them.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And it's fun to watch, and it's a credit to the schools and the community as they grow these young ones, these young kids, and we're seeing. You watch them there now. They're playing travel ball by schools at 10, 11, 12 years old. That's awesome. They're gonna be together forever.
Well, and talk about travel ball too. I mean, people talk about the destruction of high school by travel ball, but it also, I mean, you watch these girls that go to all these tournaments. When they get to high school, they've played a heck of a lot of games and they know what they're doing. I mean, we have grandchildren that are, out there on the weekends. Not yet, but it will be, and playing ball, learning and playing ball.
Well,
the only way you're going to ever get better is by playing.
Well, the knock on travel ball is they don't practice; they just play games. Well, you can practice without being being as a team. You can get your ground balls, you can get your swings in the cage as an individual. You have to do your work, and if they're lucky, if they get one night together as a group, and then they go play, a ton of games.
Okay, but then
they're playing ball though.
Well, yeah, well, we know of a team that they practice a heck of a lot, but they don't get to play any games, and I'm not going to say who it is. But they don't play any games.
It's not none of our 8.
No, it's none. It's out of our area. And kind of makes me a little mad. But, they practice a lot. The all-practice team. But they played like 3 games.
Well, and when you are a sub-varsity team, you are not the high priority.
I know, but how are you going to get that?
Well, that's not. There's a reason they're not on the varsity.
Counterpoint.
And the reason they're not on the varsity.
He will be.
And don't get me wrong, I stressed my JV and freshmen to the point where I'd go watch them. I would leave, later in the season, I would leave practice and go watch them because I wanted them to know that they were important. I would drive to Thibodaux I drive an hour and 15 minutes to get to Thibodaux High, and they'd play an hour. I'd turn around, drive an hour and 15 back.
I know.
But I wanted them to know that they were important.
That's better than driving an hour, getting there, and somebody saying, "Oh, they canceled," which happened quite a few times.
She's talking about her alma mater.
I am, and my
grandnephew.
My grandnephew's on the team, and I'm like, "Have you played at all?" Like, anyway, it's got to be frustrating.
Which is why they're not one of the top teams in the area. That's why Covenant Christian is so good. Because they're playing from 6th grade up.
There you go.
And they're playing a ton of games, and he's got a ton of coaches, and he's got people to take care of it. Terrebonne doesn't have that.
Nope.
So they're shorthanded, and
I know you almost got to coach.
No, I did not. No, I did not.
I volunteered him, but he said no.
No, I did not.
I tried to volunteer him. How's that?
I'm enjoying my little gigs, what I'm doing, and
Uber coach,
driving my Uber, doing these podcasts, and doing the color on Delgado's baseball broadcast. I'm a happy little guy.
I almost got a softball gig. Almost. I was called out of the blue and asked out of the blue to be the public address announcer for a college softball team from the city.
With all those Riverside experience. That's why.
That was the voice. He said, "Have you ever done this?" I said, I was the voice of the Rebels for a whole year. So I was going to be the PA announcer for Xavier, the Lady Gold Rush, I guess they are. They had 2 series that they were going to play at Regala Park in Laplace, and I was like, well, great, I know how to get there. And then at the last minute, like almost literally, they called and said, okay, they're not doing PA. And I was like, well,
Couldn't find one.
darn. No, well, I maybe perhaps they couldn't find equipment. And I'm like, well, I know where you can get a Mr. Microphone and a speaker.
Maybe a 10.
There you go. But I was all excited. I was ready to do it. Now batting. But anyway, maybe another day.
Maybe.
At least I'm on their list now. Yeah, but almost this close.
I put my bid in for Tulane.
Marty would like to do Tulane baseball games on TV or radio, please. He likes Delgado, but he really would like to do Tulane. We watch a lot of Tulane games.
Yes.
We do. Yep. What else are we talking about? Anything else? We got anything else to talk about?
No, not really.
I mean, I haven't talked to you like in days, so
I'm out running, ripping and running.
he's Ubering,
Having a good time.
and I'm not. I'm cleaning the pool.
Take care of your business.
There you go. That's it. But anyway, we're here, and we're trying to keep our finger on the pulse of River Parishes sports and share with you, and hopefully be a little entertaining for a few minutes of your day.
And that's what this is supposed to be. And then we'll do the hard stuff with we've got the coaches coming up from both softball and baseball. Hopefully we get some. We won't get them all. I'm putting together a piece on travel baseball, and it's when it originally started. And I've got some people I'm gonna talk to that
Really?
that were the originators. One of them being one of my former assistants, back when his son was coming up, and even before I was at the recreation department with Coach Bill Calhoun, when he took a group of St. Charles kids and started playing travel baseball when no one even knew it was called travel baseball.
I remember those conversations.
He just found some tournaments to go to.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get Randy Benedetto and his wife,
Wendy,
to come on and talk about how they handled the startup of travel. He and his son had an organization, one of the first organizations, and how that affected and how they worked that program and how it affected their family.
And I think that's the main thing. There's a ton of groups and memes, and that's what you see now on the internet. People talking about travel ball is about like how much it costs to just to get your name on the roster, how much it costs, and your equipment, and then the travel. Like if our kid had wanted to play travel ball, we would have had to say no. Because we could not have, with our jobs.
We would have found it. That's what everyone does.
No, I don't think so. We found the money for a pool. We didn't find money for. I don't know how people do it. The hotel stays, and even God bless them right now. Even just our granddaughter is a damn good little travel ball softball player, and we can't travel all over the Gulf Coast to go watch her play because we don't have the money for the meals and the gas and the hotels and all that stuff. We just don't. I mean, and I don't know how people do unless they just say, okay, we're going to put 6 of us in a hotel room, which they might, but I don't know. I guess it's the same for competitive dance and stuff like that too. Thank goodness our daughter didn't want to do that either. We said, look, we're building you a pool. Get in it. And she didn't do that either. But I don't know how families manage. I really don't. And especially the economy this summer, it's going to be difficult for a lot of people.
You find a way. for your children.
Yeah, I know you find a way.
You find a
a
way
way
for
to
your
do for your
children.
kids.
That's what people
Send them to school, send them to college, buy them a car.
Find a way.
Yeah, but I can imagine.
That's going to be one of my next endeavors.
What?
I'm
You're gonna start a travel ball team?
No, I'm going to start a little program where I help kids get into college.
Yes, you have been talking about that.
And matching them to schools, to their ability and their likes. What they, tell me what you like. Tell me where you want to go. Tell me what you'd like to do, and try to match them up. And I'm going to go. I already know most of the coaches.
You've been doing that for decades for free.
I have. But
Yes.
we'll be matching them up. I've had over 50 players play college baseball. That doesn't happen by itself. There's lots of schools that don't have 50 players that play college baseball.
And if Marty Luquette calls and says, "Hey, coach, I got a kid for you to look at," send him. You need to see him? No, just send him.
Well, it depends.
Okay, but they have enough trust in you
Right.
that they're going to believe you at your word.
Right.
Okay, they might make them swing once or twice.
Well, let's get out of here. It's getting too long.
Okay.
You're rambling.
I see how it is.
Well, we appreciate you coming on, spending some time with us. We love you. It's your line now.
And we love each other. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Thank you. Those
You
lights.
little leprechaun. Hey, Marty. Where do the leprechauns hang out?
The pot of gold.
On the patio.
Oh.
Bye!